Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Halloween, October 31st, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Caleb Black, Luke the Big Dog Williams, our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury, and it is time for the pay-per-view post-show review of Impact's Bound for Glory.
Take a breath.
We watched this show,
in one line.
and I lost my ass. I don't think I called what matches I called differently from you.
You really lost your ass. We'll wait till the next video to talk about
I didn't call shit right this week. We're going to get right into it. The pre-show opened up with the Deaners taking on the Rascals in what was a really nice match.
Yeah, it was really good.
I thought the Rascals were going to win. Obviously, with Trey Miguel being a contender for the X Division title, I thought it was going to be a big win for him. But the Deaners snuck him out. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'd rather you never say the Deaners snuck.
That was the prelude, obviously, to the Rock induction of Ken Shamrock into the Impact Hall of Fame. That's huge because that's the first time The Rock has ever been on an alternative wrestling program.
What I also loved about that is you had Mick Foley chime in. You had, who was there? There were several other
names, not only from TNA, Chael Sonnen of UFC legend. It was a very, very... in my opinion, worthy because Ken Shamrock was a legitimate star in 2003 whenever he won the NWA title for TNA in 2002. Gave them the start of creating their alternative brand of competition, which really didn't change until much later.
What I really enjoyed with the induction part of it, the speech, was that he was very humble.
He was.
He basically thanked everyone during his speech.
Yeah, thanked everybody.
Didn't go the normal route of I was trained by such and such and this, that, and the other. He was just like, very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanked Vince McMahon for giving him the opportunity and didn't disparage the WWF at all.
Good thing you don't have a Twitch count.
Right. But no, the induction was heartwarming. It was perfect. Congratulations to Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
And moving right along.
Question, though. Ken Shamrock.
If this is going to be a question about ecstasy.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Next topic.
The opening match to kick off Bound for Glory was the 6-person X Division Championship match. Rahit Raju defended against Chris Bay, Jordan Grace, Trey, TJP, and Willie Mack. Rahit Raju retained. One of the highlights of the match for me was Jordan...
Beefall retained. I called that.
Yes, he did. Jordan Grace the Jordan Grace reverse superplex, and then Rahit Raju coming in with the double stomp and yelling "Equality!"
I loved it.
So good. You did definitely call it, and again, I've put over Rahit Raju for weeks. Technically, just so strong and so sound. And there's a great thing. I think we talked about it last week, where. Maybe it was Bound for Glory 2005 or 2006, where he was just a fan in the arena watching, and then he got to open up Bound for Glory some 14, 15 years later.
And retained in a 6-person match.
Which is always, that's the Edge story where he's at WrestleMania, that's the McFoley story where he's at WrestleMania. Such a cool, and the match was fucking great. Willie Mack is so athletic and so good. I'd tell you who looked like $1 million was TJP.
Yes.
He has just printed money for the X Division.
Agreed.
Incredible. Moving right along, we have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match featuring 20 competitors. Rhino ends up winning. Heath Slater did get injured. We think the obvious finish was that Heath was going to win to keep his and Rhino's contracts. However, Rhino and Sami Callihan called an audible, finished out the match strong. Rhino's a pro.
Rhino come out.
He started the match with
number 1,
Sean Daivari, who was all kinds of just jacked and juicy.
Yeah, Daivari looked good.
Yeah, said his prayers, ate his vitamins, looked fucking great.
Several surprises. Swoggle, Dreamer.
Swoggle.
Well, I'm talking about like the gear Dreamer wore. Really good match.
Yeah, the tribute to Animal.
With the tribute to Animal. Very, very well done. Very, very well put together.
Yeah, I agree. And the Battle Royal, we're huge Battle Royal marks anyway.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun to watch. Calling Your Shot Gauntlet, followed by the Moose and EC3 cinematic fight match for the Legacy of TNA. I liked it.
I didn't care for it.
I liked it. I liked Moose getting all bloody. I liked Moose throwing the hands. I loved the little video flashbacks they were doing with EC3 out to kill TNA's Legacy and then realizing TNA put him there. Also, EC3, again, just... When you look at EC, he looks like a wrestler. He is big. He's fucking jacked to the gills. He looks kind of like a cop with the mustache and the buzz cut.
Yeah.
And it gives him that, like, predetermined dickhead look. And I think he looks great. I enjoyed it.
It wasn't bad, but I guess because I've seen so many cinematic matches this year, it drug way too long.
Yeah, it was long, and the thing that I guess that got me the most was the fact that unlike pretty much every other cinematic match, except for Impact, when Impact does it, there's still a wrestling ring somewhere.
Right.
Like in these cinematic matches, but they go to a warehouse where there's another wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Instead of just having the match there and doing everything.
Not to mention all the stuff that was implied that it would possibly be the Asylum.
Yeah.
Or stuff.
Maybe the Impact Zone would have been.
It was a letdown.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, whatever. Moose ended up winning and defeating, which I called wrong there as well. Ken Shamrock beats Eddie Edwards in his retirement match.
I called that
one. What we assume? Yes, you did.
You didn't.
Again, great showing by Shamrock. Looked great.
Yeah.
Eddie Edwards looked like Eddie Edwards. I was really hoping that would be the return of Davey Richards to help him fight off him and Sami Callihan. Yeah. It didn't happen. Yeah. But that's all right. Let's talk about that big 4-way tag team title match where the North, called it again, takes back the Impact Tag Team titles after defeating the Motor City Machine Guns, the Good Brothers.
Don't you feel bad not going for the North? Don't you feel bad?
Shut up. If you look at this, it's kind of funny because it says the Knockouts Championship instead of the Tag Team titles. Anyway.
Was that written by Russo?
The North defeats the Machine Guns, the Good Brothers, Fulton and Ace Austin. The North takes out Alex Shelley early on. We're not sure what that's about, if Shelley was hurt.
Yes, it was an injury.
So obviously there's a person removed out of that match, but for what it was, still a fun little tag match. Yep. I enjoy. Impact always has, like, for Bound for Glory, there's always like a 4-way tag match. I think I like that because they don't do it a whole lot on their TV. Right. But they always have, because remember, I remember what Bound for Glory 06 when it was like Team 3D, The Naturals. No, not The Naturals. Yeah, The Naturals.
Oh, Generation Me.
No, not 2005. Not in there. It was Team 3D. It was the James Gang. It was the Naturals, and I believe AMW.
Could have been.
Yeah, and a nice little. I love those.
Well, when you look back at TNA and the legacy of TNA, it was built on tag team wrestling.
TNA, I've said this for years. TNA and Impact have always had the best tag division. That's almost inarguable because they book tag team wrestling to be important. They book tag team wrestling the old school way, where it's not just, hey, we got 10 minutes, let's put two guys together and throw a tag team out there. No, they give their tag teams the appropriate amount of attention. And the North, as we talked about ad nauseum last week, and we'll continue to talk about it later.
Correct, because they deserve it.
Are just so damn good.
Yeah, they really are.
Josh Alexander is a fucking beast.
Ethan Page is a beast as well.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Such a good tag team. Congratulations to the North. We get to the Impact Knockouts Championship match. Kylie Ray is not involved in the match. No. There is no information as to why. There's only speculation. We are not going to report on the speculation because that's not what we do here. Not to mention there have been documented issues with Kylie Ray in the past. So what we're going to tell you happened is that the Knockout Women's Champion, Deonna Purrazzo, defended against Su Yung.
Yes.
And lost. Yep. So Deonna Purrazzo loses the title to someone she wasn't originally billed to wrestle with. Su Yung looked great. Su Yung is the alternate Kabuki Ghost personality of Susie.
Susie, yes.
And
who is my favorite.
It was a lot of fun. She hit the red mist on her. Su Yung can work. It was very Deonna Purrazzo looked great.
Yeah, the match was really well done.
Again, say what you want about some of the hokier shit they do, man. Their women's roster is also very strong and very well put together.
You also called that one wrong.
I did call. Well, I expected first of all Kylie Ray to be involved, but I did expect Deonna Purrazzo to retain. So then we get into our main event of the night: Rich Swann against Eric Young for the Impact World Title, and Rich Swann pulled it off. Defeating Eric Young. And the cool thing, like you talk about the video packages they were showing where he destroyed his leg, destroyed his ankle, had to come back from the injury, got hurt again, had to recover again, came back at Slammiversary, right into the mix, becomes the #1 contender, and defeats Eric Young. What do you have to contribute?
Folks, there's been a governor put on me, so I'm just going to sit here and smile and shake my head.
Yeah.
all I'm going to say is that Rich Swann won the belt, and
it was a good match too.
And he enjoys belts, so that's a good thing.
I knew it. I knew it.
No, it was a damn good match. I would have preferred Rich Swann not to spit goobers.
Yeah, the slobbering thing was so gross. Again. Like, we're COVID City 2020, buddy.
Yeah, like, I don't know. All I'm going to say is if I was in the ring with somebody wrestling them and they started doing that, I would be hot.
Yeah, it was gross. And then, like, I called wrong because I expected Eric Young to keep the title. I don't know where they're going to go with this because really, who are their heel personalities that can be in contention for the Impact World title now? Eric Young's really their top heel unless they want to pull EC3, Moose maybe.
Honestly, I mean,
Sami Callihan, I suppose.
I don't really know. I'm going to guess they're probably going to run with Eric Young for a little while.
Yeah, I would hope so. Eric Young's
might get a big heel turn from somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, you've got Brian Myers who just came in.
Brian Myers, yeah.
You can always have one of the North go for a singles title.
Yeah, you could take anybody from the X division really and turn him heel.
Because of his size. Because of the champion's
he's got
size,
a lot of mobility, and
you can put him against pretty much anybody
in their roster.
Yeah,
I agree.
Hey, Kenny's a viable option. He is playing heel.
Kenny. Yep.
Whoever shot. What's his face? We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a little.
I'm going on record of telling you who I know did that. But
Johnny Swinger.
Wait, no, it wasn't Swinger. Swinger's not that smart. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, Eric
Johnny
Young
Swinger wasn't in the gauntlet match.
No, I was upset.
Such a shame.
So upset.
Whoa, what a shame.
He would have won it if he was in it. I said that last week. But anyway, Eric Young drops the title.
Overall, I give Impact a big 4 out of 5.
I'm going to go 3.5.
I'm giving it a 4 only because we didn't get the full card we were promised, and Alex Shelley wasn't in. While we had the tag match, obviously Alex Shelley would have changed a lot of the dynamic for the tag match. And, I genuinely was looking forward to Kylie Ray and Deonna Purrazzo. So, that being said, the injuries that occurred that night, the production issues they were having, where graphics would pause and restart.
D'Lo Brown's just sitting there being fat, staring at the screen. Yeah,
big 4 out of 5 for me. Impact, keep doing your thing, keep being the real alternative.
I got to give it a 3.5. The only reason I'm giving it a 3.5 is there were several elements of the show that I thought could be tweaked a little better.
I agree with that.
Production was, and the sad part is, we talk every week about how their production is so good.
Yeah.
And you get to the biggest pay-per-view of the year.
And they had production issues all night long. Yeah.
You caused that.
How did I cause? By not
you didn't call stuff correctly. You talk about how awesome their production is every week. And then the biggest show, write your complaints in the comments below. Right here.
No.
After you like and subscribe
if that were the case, they would have changed the WWE's booking fucking 10 years ago.
Nah, Vince McMahon doesn't care about the fans.
Guys, that is our Bound for Glory Impact pay-per-view post-show review.
You have no idea how hard it was for me to talk about
I'm so proud of you. I'm
proud of me.
Guys, let us know what you thought about Bound for Glory. Did you watch? Did you choose not to watch? What were some of the highlights for you? And there are several ways to do that. You can send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. You can like and subscribe and leave us a comment down below. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/prowrestlingthrowdown, or you can follow us on Twitter at prowrestlingtd, baby. Stay tuned for another pay-per-view post-show review where we're going to talk about Hell in a Cell.
Heck yeah, let her out of the ring.